So the life you're living right now, the life you will live in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, is the sum of the decisions you start making right now. The life that you envision tomorrow, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is, will be the sum of the decisions you start making right now. Today, you will make thousands of decisions. Tomorrow, you will make thousands of decisions. Over the next year, thousands of decisions. Over the next 10 years, thousands of decisions. And I know some of you allow fear to get in the way of making any decision. Once again, I will tell you that the fear and not making any decision is making a decision in and of itself. So you got to clearly visualize the life you want. And one of the biggest, I ask people, what do you want to do? The Reverend Robert Schuller, the late Reverend Robert Schuller, used to ask people, what could you do if you knew you could not fail? And so many people ask him, what do you want your life to be like in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? That question alone, I've had some people who disappear and I never hear from them again. They paid me thousands of dollars to help train them. That one question they cannot answer digs up so much pain in their life that they just disappear. They don't even want to answer that question because we live in a permission-based society. Raise your hand if you want to speak. Raise your hand if you want to take a piss, right? Sit down. Shut up. Thomas, yes, you have my permission. Didn't you get, we gave all the speakers diapers so you wouldn't have to, yeah. But we live in this permission-based mindset, right? Where it starts young. Sit down, shut up, quiet, listen, do your lesson. And if you don't, we're going to tell you have a disorder. We're going to give you drugs and tell you something is wrong. Many of you may have heard me talk about this or read it before, but Thomas Edison, right? When he was about 8 years old, his teacher brought his mom home and said, something's wrong with Thomas. He's got an addled brain. Today we might give him a different title, right? And give him some drugs. And she said, screw you. I'm sure she didn't say screw you. Maybe she did. She brought him home and schooled him at home, and we now know that that addled brain was genius. 1,000 different ideas. Not all of them came to fruition, but many of them did and changed the course of history. He was on that video because he wasn't afraid to make decisions to invest in the superpowers he had that some people saw as a disorder, but was not. It was his inner power. So making those decisions are very important. And making that decision that you want to live a life you actually want to live, start living like your life depended on it, it starts today. But it doesn't just involve making that decision. It involves visualization and repetition. Visualization and repetition. Every morning, get up an hour or two early. Find a quiet, still place before you go to bed at night. Keep envisioning that life you want. Last week on LinkedIn, I posted a simple post. I thought it was a simple post. It said, if you want to be a billionaire, start acting like it right now. And I could tell clearly who had a scarcity mindset and who had an abundance mindset given the responses. There was a lot of people who liked it and said, yes, I visualize that. I make my future my present now, and I start visualizing it right now. And then there were people, well, that's irresponsible. How could I buy a Ferrari if I only have $50,000 in my bank account? Someone else said, are you telling people to fake life? You know, what kind of a lie is that? And I was so glad that they posted that because it provides a teachable moment. It's not about spending money wildly, being irresponsible, but it's about realizing that the word responsibility means you have a responsibility to yourself. You have a responsibility to your family, to the people around you, because when you have a scarcity mindset and you don't live up to your potential, it's not a victimless crime.